Hi, and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll be discussing the Third Industrial Revolution. The Third Industrial Revolution commenced from 1970 and it went on until the early 2000s. So, this era is often referred to as the digital revolution or the information age because back in the day, it was the fossil fuels that drove the entire economy. But in the Third Industrial Revolution, something changed. Data became the new fuel. This marked a paradigm shift from the traditional, hardworking industrial processors to a more interconnected, digitized, and automated era. At the turn of the 21st century, a new revolution began to unfold, one that would redefine the very essence of human interaction, economy, and the environment. This is the story of the Third Industrial Revolution, an era where the digital and the physical realms converge, creating a tapestry of interconnectedness across the globe. The advent of the Internet marked the inception of this revolution, transforming the world into a global village. Information and communication, once bound by time and space, now flowed freely, connecting minds and markets in an instantaneous web of digital exchange. As our planet whispered warnings of environmental limits, the third industrial revolution heeded the call with a shift towards sustainability. Renewable energy sources began to replace the fossil fuels of old, promising a cleaner and a more sustainable future for our world. Automation and robotics emerged as cornerstones of this new era, redefining manufacturing and labor. From 3D printers creating objects layer by layer to robots performing tasks with precision beyond human capability, the boundaries of production and creativity expanded exponentially. The revolution brought forth the concept of the smart world. Cities, homes, and devices became interconnected, communicating and optimizing to enhance efficiency, comfort, and sustainability, embodying the intelligence of human ingenuity. This era also witnessed the rise of the sharing economy or the gig economy, where access trumped ownership and the power of peer to peer networks challenged traditional economic models. Decentralization became the mantra not just in energy production but in how we conceive and transact, fostering a more inclusive and collaborative global community. Yet, with great advancements came new challenges: technological unemployment, privacy concerns, and the continuous battle against climate change. The third industrial revolution prompted a re evaluation of societal values, encouraging adoption, lifelong learning, and policies that aim to harness technology for the greater good. So, when you look back at the key aspects of the third industrial revolution, digital technologies, the internet, and connectivity play a major role. Computers, which were once the size of a room, is now a computer that you can put in your pocket. And the smartphone that you own today has more computing power than the computer that helped man land on moon in the Apollo 11. Also, we saw a massive transformation when it comes to automation and robotics. Robots were starting to appear in factories in areas where there were high risk situations, especially areas where there was a high chance of injury or accidents happening. So, industries like mining, construction, and even factories which assemble vehicles turned to robotics because robots could provide a much more precision and also enables factories to run 24/7. There were also advances in biotechnology and nanotechnology, advances that helps us to understand how biology works and use that innovation and research to design more environmentally friendly and sustainable products. We also saw the transition from fossil fuels like gasoline to more sustainable and renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and even sustainable aviation fuel, completely changing how we generate energy in this era and into the future. There was also a massive change in terms of business models. Because with the creation of social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, people started exploring and utilizing those platforms to grow their business. Social media enabled small businesses and empowered them to reach a global audience and start selling to the whole world. The third industrial revolution has its challenges: job displacements due to machinery and advancements in technology, privacy concerns because everything is stored in digital format, cybersecurity threats because unauthorized people can gain access to your valuable company information and do anything that they wish with it. There was also the digital divide where people who were more tech savvy had the upper hand in the economy, whereas people who had poor digital literacy skills were often left behind or were often required to be employed in areas where there's very high levels of physical labor. There was also the loss of traditional industries such as manufacturing and printing. Although these industries exist today, digital media are very powerful in terms of understanding and delivering content such as advertisements to a much more selected audience. And the best part is you can track whether the audience is actually responding to advertisement, which does not happen in traditional or conventional media like print and even the television and the radio. Even though the world became more connected, people felt more lonely because the human to human interaction was reducing gradually. Then there was also the algorithmic bias and discrimination. So, because social media runs on algorithms, or what we call step by step instructions for the computer to process, it has its own biases and discriminations when it comes to rewarding and encouraging the share of certain content and vice versa. Then there were also concerns like the job precariousness in the gig economy. So, gig economy is basically the freelance economy that we're seeing today. So, if you're a driver who's working for companies like Uber or Lyft, you're considered a gig economy worker. So, activities like driving your car and picking up people and dropping them off at various locations, picking up food, and also freelance services like writing, web development, graphic designing, all these freelance workers are included in the gig economy. So, one of the challenges of the gig economy workforce is that most of them are treated as an external party. They are not treated as an internal employee, meaning they do not have the same rights and the same privileges, things like insurance, benefits, and job promotions as an internal employee. So, this makes them vulnerable to OHS or what we call occupational health and safety standards, things like accidents, and even economic fluctuations. And another controversial thing that the third industrial revolution is having is the impact on mental health. Social media increases dopamine, which makes us more digitally addicted to social media platforms, and also things like increased levels of anxiety, FOMO, or fear of missing out are very common in the third industrial revolution era. Well, now that we have discussed the third industrial revolution, let's go back to our workbook and answer question 3 on page 10. How has the gig economy, enabled by digital platforms, reshaped traditional notions of employment during the third industrial revolution? And what implications does the prevalence of gig work have on job security, workers' rights, and the broader socio-economic landscape? So let's take a few minutes to answer that question, and I'll see you on the next lecture where we are going to be talking on the fourth industrial revolution.